And this week we have something special for the Workbench.
Oh my God, is it
because
special?
Becky zones out when I start talking tech, and we've run out of good tech things.
No, that's not true. Just certain things I
But we thought
when you start talking about amperage.
But the other thing is, I also
voltage,
haven't sewed a quilt for a while, and whenever I sew a quilt and then I hang it up, everybody's like, where's the pattern? And I don't like the pattern. So what we're going to do is, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to sew a quilt, and these are the steps to do it, so you can see the process, because I just make it up as I go along.
It's going to keep me awake.
So.
It does not, that looks like urine, doesn't it? Hey, no, this is why it doesn't come in a bottle.
So we have this panel, which you're all going to see and say, oh, that's beautiful. This panel,
Is this New York City?
I have no idea.
Yeah, look at this. Now, let's see if we can find, is this before the 20?
I don't know.
Oh, it is.
See, I don't know. All I know is that we've had this on the shelf for like 3 years, and I still have almost a full bolt of it.
You need a plane to fly in.
I haven't finished the quilt. So this is so we have a whole bolt of these panels, and I got it because I just love the colors, and I think it's a fantastic panel. But because I still have it on the bolt, I want to make something with it. So what we're going to walk through today is the first process.
Down here,
I don't know.
Oh, it's just a bigger version.
Yeah.
Okay. Repeat.
So that's the panel I started with.
This is the panel you started. That's just a panel.
That was just a panel.
But wait a minute. This is Brent showing you how to make his version of a mystery quilt.
Yeah, this is because I don't even know how it's going to turn out yet. I have an idea in my head. This is the process you're watching on the Workbench is how I got from there to here.
So far, I want to tell you that Brent just spent 2 hours putting away everything on the Workbench. So, and this is all he has to show for it, just saying. 2 fabrics.
Yep. That's all.
Creativity takes time.
So this is.
Okay. So what do we got here, Brent?
So so we just took that panel and we just chopped it up a little bit.
Like did you measure?
Not really. So we're gonna get it.
Are these all?
Yeah. So when I started out with a panel, I did trim my panel to 40 inches, because 40 divided by 5.
Oh, here we go with the
is
math
8.
again.
Well, we needed an odd number of strips.
Why?
Well, how many strips do I have going across?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And if I had done an even number, what would happen if I was to graduate them in like I did? The 2 in the middle would be the same width, and it would look odd.
So you actually figured that all out ahead of time?
I just figured out how wide the strips were. The rest of it I didn't. We're going to talk about.
Let me see that panel again. Isn't it all the same width on the panel?
What all the same width on the panel?
Yes, it is. There's more math involved.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's all the same width on the panel.
Well, the panel is all the same width.
Yeah.
So then you decided you were
yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get into that.
Well, I know, but I want people to see how they got how you got from A to B.
Yeah. So all I did is first off is I knew that I was going to do 5 strips, and so I had to.
You just knew.
Because I wanted an odd number.
Okay.
And so I said 5 strips, and I know that 40 divided by 5 is 8. So guess how wide these strips are here?
8.
8 inches. And what I did is a panel was closer to 43 or 44. And so
you
what?
did a little fussy cutting?
Nope.
No, you just got lucky on some of the positions?
Yeah, I'll walk you through. So what I did is I knew that this was a little longer than 40 inches. If you look at the panel, the top is not as interesting as the bottom.
To you.
Well, the sky up here.
Yeah.
So I took a couple inches off of the sky to make the panel 40 inches long.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So that's all that happened there. So we cut it to 40 inches, and then we stripped it at 8-inch strips.
Okay.
This way.
Yep.
All right, so far so good?
Yeah, you didn't account for the little bindings, the sashings that you put in?
No.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to explain that to you right now, because this is important. this is one of my pet peeves. If you ever see those attic window quilts that are done with panels.
Yes, that's why I was wondering if you accounted and took it and chopped out.
Nope.
Chopped out.
Nope. I'm going to explain.
An inch.
No, you don't chop anything out. Because you start out with a 1-inch piece here.
Yeah.
When you cut it in half, your seam allowance gives you a 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
And then you get another 1/4 inch off of here. So
Right.
you have to make up for 1/2 inch.
Right.
So if you cut these at 1 inch, that is the exact amount of fabric that you need to make up for.
Right.
So there's no math involved there. Just cut 1-inch strips, and it fits in between your strips.
between this strip and this strip, when you cut the panel up, you just sliced it?
Just sliced it, yeah.
Okay,
And that's why, but that's why I'm only an inch wide here.
Yeah.
So that it maintains the proportions. I could have went done 2.5, it might have looked a little more interesting.
I see what you're
But the problem is on a panel, and if you ever see an attic window quilt, it really drives me nuts, where they have a panel and it's like a deer, and his head's here, and then his antlers over here, and it's like the proportions are messed up because they just threw fabric in rather than cutting out the
Oh.
difference in fabric.
Okay.
Anytime.
So that's, oh, so that, I get it now. You said these strips are going to take up half an inch because I'm going to lose
I'm losing half an
a
inch.
quarter inch here and a
Quarter
quarter
inch
inch
there.
Duh.
So we
Does
lost-
everybody get that now? Oh, you all got it before me. Okay, I just got it.
Yeah,
I
but
just
so
got
we're
it.
losing a quarter inch from each side because of the seam allowance.
Yeah.
So if we cut our strips at an inch,
Yeah.
we lose a quarter inch of each side off the inch. That
It
gives
which
a half inch.
equals the piece.
So that's why if you were to look
very
at,
magical, Brent.
if you looked at it really closely, it would look like that you're looking through a window because it maintains the proportions to it. But don't look too close because it's not quite straight on one of the spots.
That's pretty cool.
So you see how it just kind of, the strips make up for where you're missing.
Yeah.
So now when I graduated it in, to figure out this here, all I did is after I cut my 8-inch strips, I folded them all in half. And then I chopped them to 24 inches wide. So I folded them in half and
All
chopped
of
them.
them to 24.
Well, actually, I folded them in half and chopped them at 12, because half of 24 is 12.
Oh, yeah. 'cause
Okay,
they were
and but we're-
folded in half.
yeah,
when
we're
you
folded
cut
in
them.
half.
Okay,
And we cut the middle one at 24 inches
okay.
off the center line. Okay?
Yep.
So this one here, and then all I did after that is I cut this one 3 inches shorter. So instead of 24,
I want to do like a Santa Claus like
so the middle
this.
one,
Checking your math.
yeah, the middle one, and then you don't necessarily need to be 24.
Well, oh yeah, yeah, that's not 24.
It's, well, yeah, but seams and all that. But it doesn't necessarily need,
23.
okay, but what I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily need to be, as long as they're all folded down the center line. So I cut this one at 12, folded in half.
Yeah.
So I knew that I wanted to have a gap here of 3 inches. So the next two,
Why 3 inches?
because that's what I wanted it to look like. You could do 2 or 4 or whatever.
You like 3.
I just wanted 3.
You like odd stuff.
I just thought 3 looked good.
You like odd numbers.
do, yeah.
You do. Okay.
But it was working out good because of
It
this. Because if you went 4, it would have been too. You would have
Yeah.
too severe. 3, and it's not going to work for my next step if I went any less.
The mystery.
Oh, the mystery. Next week's mystery just came to me halfway. So then after I cut this one at 12,
I love it.
after I cut this one at 12, I cut the other two because after I chopped I kept track of them. The ones above it, because they're folded in half, I just cut 3 inches off. So instead of cutting it at 12, I cut it at 9. And then this one up here, I cut 3 inches shorter, which is 6.
Yeah.
So when you fold them all out, it comes off both ends because it was folded down the middle.
You know I'm checking on you.
That's fine.
not 6, just so you know.
Yeah, that's
That's-
close enough.
It's 11 and a half.
Well, yeah, it's 11 and a half because if it was cut at 12 and
Well,
then,
you said 6. It's not 6.
yeah, but it's 6 and you unfold it.
Okay, all right. Oh,
Six.
gosh, darn it, man. You get I should.
So
just-
6,
I'm
you
gonna have me
unfold
another
it,
drink.
it becomes 12. So then, that's what I did there. Then I knew that I wanted to add a little bit on the outside here for the beyond that 12. So I knew that, so all I did is I took my black fabric and cut an 8-inch strip because 8 inches is the same width as this. I actually had to cut 2 8-inch strips.
I'm seeing a
And so then all I did is I added 3 inches to the middle one, and guess how much? So I just cut a 3-inch, 8x3 strip to put on both sides of the middle. And then I knew that I cut 3 inches off of this one, right?
Yeah.
So if I was gonna, so I cut a 3-inch piece here, so I add 3 inches so that it comes out to the same, so I cut a 6-inch piece here. Do you see we're reversing now?
Yeah, yeah.
And then-
I'm looking at that panel in a whole new light.
And then
That's
up here,
nice
and
here.
then this one up here got cut at 9, because then we added 3 to the 6 that we added to here. So that way, when we sewed them all together, they came out even. Now they weren't exactly perfect, because I did one of the tricks too. So after you get the sides sewn on, and the reason I did 3 is that way I had at least a ½ inch so I could trim it down a little bit when they didn't line up perfect, because I knew they wouldn't, because I just sewed that way.
We've seen you sew.
And so the other thing I did is after I got the pieces made, all you had to do is take a pin and mark a reference point where this, like for example here, can you zoom in, Eddie? if you see, if you look closely, you can kind of
Ooh,
see.
little doughy.
Yeah, over here. So you can see that on this up here lines up with this down here. Oh, over here, I'm sad. But you can see where above and below the line, there's a reference point where you can see where they should line up if you want it to look right. And you can see
You
where
mean
I
the
was.
shadows?
Yeah, the shadows.
Okay.
You can see I'm off a little bit there.
Yeah.
But as you
But
get
that's Brent. So
Yeah, but as
we
you get
don't
closer-
expect you to be.
Yeah, but as you get
we
closer
don't
over here.
expect you to really be lined up.
But the way I did it is I pinned it and lined those pins up when I sewed it.
You should have just glued.
I could have glued, but I'm not, Becky, and I should have glued. That's actually a good idea.
It would have been
But
easier.
that's all I did is I found a
You-
reference point and glued it.
You actually used the pins. I'm
Yeah.
very impressed.
And so that's how we got to here.
Nice.
It's fairly simple. You can do this with any.
It's really cool.
You can do it with any panel. But I wanted to go over this so after I get the quilt done and you all see it and say, oh, that's beautiful, I'm going to say, watch the video because I'm not going to write up a
You know
pattern.
what I want? I want to challenge somebody out there. to pick a-
Victoria's on
Yeah.
it.
I want a
But-
panel. Some of you not that has some panels because you always look. We all buy.
Yeah.
We buy
Yeah.
panels and then get tired of putting them in the same old
Yeah.
thing. So I think we need a panel challenge.
Now
Brent.
this also
Just say
works.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
This also works vertically is how I usually see this done. If you have a 1 yard panel, doing this vertically instead of horizontal comes out really cool too.
Okay. Well, I'm saying out there that we need other people to get panel mysteries going.
Oh, and let us see what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick a winner.
Okay.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, so this is how we did this. Stay tuned next week because
I
I'm,
really would like to see what people come up with.
oh, this is going to be fantastic when I'm done.
I
I got
know,
plans.
very
I had to stop myself because
Go
I really
for it,
wanted to finish
Amanda.
it, but I was like, no, I'm going to just let the mystery get you all excited. And of course, I'm trying to live it
I
up.
love it, and there's so many cool panels.
Oh, there's a ton of good panels.
I never know what to do with that.
And most people just throw a border on it and call it
yeah,
done.
And then I'm like, okay, it's a panel.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
But that
The
trick with-
colors
You
are
got two in already.
But that trick
the
with the one,
color's amazing.
with that
Good.
one 1 inch sashing works
Yeah.
really good. If I did a panel a couple years ago. In fact, I gave it to Susie for her
Makes
wedding.
so much sense.
But if you take like a panel, you can actually just randomly cut a panel in half, like at a weird angle,
Yeah.
and then sew that 1 inch piece in there, and it looks and do it a couple times, and it'll look like it's been like cracked glass or it's
Stained
been
glass.
yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah, I did it.
crazy.
It comes out, yeah, like I said, I had a really nice one that
Very cool.
I gave to somebody for their
Well,
wedding.
I'm anxiously waiting.
When is it
And
due?
what's that?
Amanda wants to know when.
When it's due.
Yeah.
Let's come up with a due date. I don't have my calendar.
Okay, let's say week after next.
So they have.
Because he's got to show the next step.
I'm going to show you what
Are
I'm
yours
doing
gonna
next.
be done next week?
Oh, the next step is going to be done. I've got.
Are you going to keep going?
Well, I'm going to get next week done, and I think I'm going to have to do outer borders after that. So it's going to be like 3 more weeks.
Yeah. So should they have 3 weeks?
So yeah. So next week, then the week after next is like 2 weeks, right? Oh, where's the calendar?
Well, I don't know.
I love how organized we are.
I know.
Just
me
pick.
too.
Just pick a date.
So
for
the
us.
28th.
So they have. They.
It's going to be the first Thursday in
We wanna-
November, the 4th,
Well, we should have it the next Thursday.
the
then,
11th.
So that you get yours done, they get theirs done, and we can do a
November
show and
11th.
tell. How's that sound?
Yes,
Sounds great.
November.
November 11th.
November. Wait, was that a Wednesday or Thursday?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was a
That's
Wednesday.
Veterans Day.
Is it? Oh, so
Yeah.
that's good. Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Let's do it on the 11th then.
Yeah.
Do it for
yeah.
the vets.
So yeah, Victoria, we would want to hear what people are doing. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So
And
yeah, if
somehow we'll get other people in.
if
but
you are
this is
doing
great.
if you're doing this,
Panel
em-
challenge.
email your submissions to Brent at fourpinesquilting.com.
Yeah, pictures, photos.
Pictures, yes, and then we'll give them to
Progress,
Eddie. Yeah.
Progress photos.
Yes, and then Eddie will post them for everybody to watch.
I like that.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
So
We
yes,
have to start with a panel.
yes. So show us what you've
Like
done
it.
with your panel next week or the week after. But between now and the 11th, we want to see different panels.
Yeah, I like it.
It'll be exciting.
You will.
And share this with your friends so they do it too. And it's like some sort of weird cult thing, and then we'll have like a following.
We'll have lots of panels. We'll have lots of nifty panels.
Yes.
Cool.
So anyway, that was exciting. That's what I
I
had for.
like it.
I
I
thought
like
that would
it
be
a
more
lot.
interesting. We're getting into the holiday season. I thought that would be
Yeah.
kind of more interesting for.